Dear Amy, yes, stuff. I have to say stuff. Dear Amy, here I am again with another very much improvised message to you. I am using a different lens today. I am using a prime lens instead of a zoom lens, which I usually go for, but this one is still on because I had a photo shoot with my friend Suits the other day, and I used the prime lens instead of the zoom lens because I felt like the focus works nicer with a prime lens. So that's what I'm doing today. I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference, but I thought I'd let you know. That foundation year stuff sounds really interesting. I don't know why I try to ask a lot of people questions about what they're doing in college and stuff like that, because I am obviously supposed to figure it out now, so I just try to listen to what other people do. But that stuff you're doing sounds really interesting because I love business and PR and that sort of stuff, so this sounds like a really good thing for me. Thing is, studies abroad are really expensive and I really want to live in the UK or the USA at some point, but I'm really not sure how I'm gonna pay for that. So I'm still figuring that out, but it sounds really interesting and really convenient for me because in the Netherlands, as far as I know, we don't really have such a thing. We just have to know what we're doing, choose that subject and go study that. Obviously you can quit your studies, but well, not the best plan obviously. So yeah, it sounds really good. I might have to look into that more. Other than that, last Sunday I had my first hopeful meet. And I think that is really nice and great, and I wanted to talk to you about it because hopeful thing, this is how this started, and I feel like you should share my excitement. I don't know. Yeah, so Sunday we had this end of summer hopeful gathering in Amsterdam, and it was the first time I actually like properly met any of the hopefuls, because I had met two of them in the Waterstones, but I was too shy to really talk to them back then, so I did sort of meet them, like saw their face, but that was it. And now I actually came there with the intention to talk to people, so that was different. I met one girl through the group pretty much, and so I sort of recognized her, she sort of recognized me, which was nice because sort of comforting, I guess. And there were two guys when I arrived and one other girl. Or she came right after me, I'm not sure. There were two guys, and in the end there were two guys and 6 girls of us when we were at Amsterdam Central Station. And at first we did like a really short introduction stuff, then we went to the piano at Dutch stations. Nowadays, if they're big enough, you have a piano standing there and you can just play it. And there was a drunk, and he played it a lot, and he attempted to play the Pirates of the Caribbean tune, but he didn't really succeed. But he tended to do that like every time someone left, so he just started playing that. And then we had the piano for a bit, and I played a little bit of Let It Go and a little bit of Make You Feel My Love. And that was nice, and then we started walking and we walked to the Waterstones. I didn't pick up any books, but I did see some, but I have like a stack waiting for me to be read, and I have a lot to read for my schoolwork as well, this year as well, because I have I think 4 books for English, 5 books for Dutch, 2 French books for French, and 1 translation for French. So over 10 books. So I don't really have time to pick up more books right now, but that's a thing that'll come, I'll get to in the future again. Then it was time to get into a tram to get to the Museum Square, which is like the place in Amsterdam that is not necessarily a place where like the Dutchies gather, but it's really a touristic place. There's like I think 3 huge museums surrounding that square, and there's the Rijksmuseum, which is like the country's national museum, I guess. And then there's the Van Gogh Museum and the Stedelijk Museum, which is the Amsterdam City Museum. This all sounds really lame when I say it like that, but yeah, those are the museums that are at that square. And every year there is this event that Carrie went to last year called the Uitmarkt. And every year at the Uitmarkt, it's a weekend event. It's from Friday to Sunday, and every Sunday from the Uitmarkt there is a musical sing-along. So we had to take a tram from where we were to get to that, and we were going to see the rehearsals and then maybe in the evening the actual thing. But the tram was really packed, and before all 8 of us could get in, they closed the doors. So I ended up being outside of the tram with one other girl, and we walked, and it was really nice because we had a walk through the park and it was sunny and the weather was nice, and it was nice to have just a one-on-one moment. So we had a chat while walking, and not too much later we were reunited again with all the others, and we just picked a spot, sat down, and listened to the rehearsals for the musical sing-along. And then I was having so much fun that I decided to stay, and I had dinner there. I had a little bun, right? Bread roll thing with hummus and roasted peppers and rocket, and it was really nice, and that was my dinner. And I saw part of the live show as well as all of the rehearsals, and then I had to leave, and that was at 10, but the tram I was supposed to take back to the station didn't come. So I met someone there because my phone had run out, so I talked to someone like, hey, what time is it? And she also had to go to Central Station. So we ended up traveling together, and at first we were waiting for the one tram, which didn't come, so we figured we'd go to another tram stop and see if another tram would come there. And then from over there we saw a bus that was about to leave that was also going in that direction, so we sprinted to the bus, and in the end we took the bus, and then we were in the bus, and then a disabled person had to get in, which is gonna sound really mean, but it really didn't work out. They had like a panel you could press a button for, pretty much, and then it would roll out so that a stroller or a wheelchair could get in, but the guy didn't know how it worked, and then it didn't work at all, so we were delayed once again, and she had to get a train, so I felt really sorry for her. In the end we got to Central Station, and I'm pretty sure she could still catch her train, so she caught her train and I got my bike and I drove home. And that was a really short version of what happened. It was a really nice day, and I met a lot of new people, and that was really nice. And I noticed that going out and meeting new people is just a thing that I'm really enjoying, and I really have to push myself to do it, but once I'm doing it, it's really nice, so I'm trying to do that more and go out more and stuff like that. Yeah, overall I've been really proud of myself this week for some reason. I just mentioned that I had a photo shoot with my friend Suze, and that was for my blog, and I put the post up yesterday, and it received a lot of comments. Well, no, it didn't receive a lot of comments, but it got a lot of attention, which is weird because my normal posts are regularly more about like thought things, you know what I do here as well, but in text form. And now I made a fashion post, and that got a lot more, that attracted more traffic, I guess you could say, which is both sort of sad because I feel like the other things are also important and nice, and I try to make them good as well, so it's sort of sad that they don't get as much attention. But it's also nice to see that this post did get a lot of attention, and when people comment and say some nice stuff about it, I just get really fuzzy inside and proud, and it made me really happy, and there were really nice pictures in there, so I'm also really proud of her for making those beautiful pictures, and everything about it is just making me feel warm inside. Yeah, that was it, I think. It's been 2 weeks since summer in the city, and life so far at school and around it hasn't been that bad yet. I'm sort of excited-ish for this year. I don't really have a lot of people breathing in my neck apart from my parents to do stuff, which is also sort of a problem, but also sort of a good thing. I feel like I've been talking about me a lot. I'm sorry about that. I just had to ramble, and when I ramble I can't really think of things. I can just think of stuff that has happened and stuff that I'm doing. So sorry about that, but I'm guessing your uni starts soon again, and I'm really curious to hear more about your university stuff. Did you have fun in your last weeks of summer holiday apart from the Harry Potter studio tour? I hope you did, and I'll see you next week.